All right, welcome back to Big Head Small Cap. It is Monday morning and we have done some trades, so I thought I'd do a quick episode about it. So let me pull up the tracker here and show you what I did. So first of all, Rivian keeps running, which is great. It's up to 1580. It's so funny, the psychology of stocks. At 15 bucks, all I wanted to do in life, all I wanted was for it to get back to 16 and to get out even. That was 100%. I was so happy with that. If you'd said, okay, I'll give you back 16, I would have sold all day long. Now I'm like, oh, I feel comfortable again. Oh shoot, maybe it'll get to 6, maybe it'll get to 18, maybe I'll be able to do my, I don't know the psychology of it. I feel like an idiot, but I'm just admitting to myself what it is, and I'm hoping it will keep running at this point. I'm very comfortable with the position now, which is so stupid because it still doesn't make any money. It's still losing money on the gross margin line. That said, I'm just seeing a million cars. It's because I'm more alert to the Rivian at this point. There are just so many Rivians on the road, so I feel like, oh, maybe it'll do well. So anyway, Catalyst is running a tiny bit, so that's nice, but nothing. I just hate this name. Lantheus is doing well, so I'm feeling really good about that. Gravity keeps doing worse, and I don't understand that at all, but I'll just ignore that for a moment. So anyway, what happened today? This weekend, I found a company called Inmode. I know I haven't talked to you about Inmode at all, but I was just looking through news, good companies to invest in, good ideas kind of thing. And there was this article and it had Inmode in it. And I started looking and it matches a lot of my requirements. So let me show you. It should have originally shown up on my stock ticker, except for it had bad year to 12-month growth rate. It has a great 3-year growth rate, but a crappy 12-month growth rate. But it throws off a bejeebies of cash. So about 45 million a quarter consistently. It's got a lot of cash, 60, 70 million, 700 million almost. And it's only worth 2 billion. So it's got a market cap, enterprise value about 1.3 billion. Sorry. So 1.3 billion on an annual earn of about 200 million. That's less than 10 times earnings. It seemed like a really interesting name. And then I noticed something that made me want to buy it. And that is that it's reporting earnings on February 13th. Earnings, because I have no insight into any of these companies, earnings are generally going to be something worth avoiding. Because somebody who knows something is going to make the stock do something, and I'm not in the know, and that's bad for me. But a company that's undervalued like this and throwing off so much cash, it seems like earnings can almost only do good things. Everyone already thinks it's not going to grow. So if it doesn't grow, nothing will happen. Negative really will happen. The worst thing that can happen is it chugs along and nothing meaningful changes. But on the positive end, you could have a good earnings surprise and then it would take off because it's so undervalued. So I figured let me buy in, and I made a tiny bit of money. And let's look at the chart because it's worth seeing there. Inmode has been running the last couple of days, and I use that to add more confidence to my trading conviction here because it's going into earnings. And my premise is, geez, maybe somebody knows something. So if I go out to 3 months, it's been sort of range bound here. Probably if I were being disciplined, I'd be waiting for it to be 21. But again, it's going into earnings. So I think I could be a little bit more aggressive here. And then if I go back 6 months, you can see it's still really cheap relative to where it was before it, had a bad earnings. It shit the bed and delivered lower growth. So if it has a good quarter, I don't see why I couldn't easily be back to 30 or 30 plus. So I bought some. So let's see how I sized that one. I didn't go crazy on it. I only bought 1,000 shares, so 20 grand worth. The big news, of course, is Gigacloud. Gigacloud fell off the face of the earth. which is great for me because I did not own it when it did that. I was kicking myself last episode because if I had just held it a little bit longer, I would have made six grand more, or 8 grand more, or something, a lot more money, right? But I got out at 24. But now look, I look like a freaking genius because it dropped all the way to 22. I ended up buying it at 22. And I went in pretty heavy. I went 3,000 shares at 22. So knock on wood, that hopefully that will produce well for me. The last thing, well, actually, let's go over some of these because they're worth talking about. AMCR, I think 18 or 17 is the number I said I'd go in at it aggressively. Let me see. Right here was where we had it. Yeah, so if it gets to 17 or 17 and a half, I'm going to buy into this thing. This is Semiconductors. It's a good company. It's one of our cheaper names. And I just see a lot of support for it around this range and a good upside to 22, easy peasy upside. So that's one. I'll probably put an order in around, 17 and a half, something like that. Aether ran a little bit. That's good. If it gets up to, 16 and a half, I'll probably short it again. 16 and a half is where I got out of my closed my shorts last time. And then I went as low as 15 and a half, but I'm not anxious to short anything. And then what else is worth talking about? Daktronics. Remember we said if it gets to 750, we're going to go in aggressively here. And that's exactly what we're going to do. It keeps dropping, but it's a good management team. Again, one of our cheaper ones. I definitely would want to hold this one over earnings. 750, low is 730, 740. So 750, definitely want to own this thing at 750. All right. And then there was one other. Oh, Crescendo. I want to talk about Crescendo. Let's really quickly look at Crescendo. Crescendo took off again. Intraday, it went over 7. Let's look at this chart. Because what you're going to see is the world does not want to let this thing above 7 at the moment anyway. Now let's do 5 days. Yeah. It has these really aggressive runs during the day, really aggressive, like up a buck from $6 to $7. This is all just today, but it gets to 7 and it gets hammered. So I'll tell you what, when it hits 6 again, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to look for a really quick trade. I'm not going to try to own this thing over earnings though. I'd love to avoid that, but somebody wants to push this thing up. So if it gets if it comes down to a good price, I'm gonna really try to get it that $6 price and go in reasonably aggressively, and again hold it till 7. Hopefully I'll get 7. So anyway, that's it for now. I'll update you at the end of the day, show you how we did. Hopefully it'll be a good day. So far with Rivian going up, I'm feeling just good. I mean that stock is the source of my positive feelings at this point. So it's almost at $16, almost at $16. So can you believe it? I totally should be selling this. But I'm not. So I'm going to hold on and hopefully make some money. Anyway, that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye. All right. I just wanted to do an evening wrap up. The day ended up pretty nicely and I'm happy about it. So I figured I'd update you guys. Rivian bounced. It's up to 16.12. I'm making money on this name. I can't even believe it, given how emotionally distraught I was, how much I wished I could have gotten out of it, how much I wished I hadn't chased it, to now be making money and sitting here and thinking, well, maybe I'll hold it. Certainly that's a fantastic feeling. I don't know why I'm holding it. I should absolutely blow it out for all the reasons I originally gave, but I'm going to hold it. I'm not freaked out. Tesla completely crapped the bed and it's up since then. And so I don't know. I think I'm going to go with my original theory, which was there was support around 15 and it could easily run to 18, no problem. So we'll see. Lantheus did well today. Gravity was only my negative name, but I'm so comfortable holding this thing. This is like 1 or 2 quarters away from being
negative enterprise value. It just cash flows a ton. It's a great name. I'm going to hold on to it. Inmode made a little bit money. Again, we're waiting on the earnings call there, which is in February 13th. So this will be a little bit of a longer holding period than normal. But I like the price, and I think we can make some good money there. And Gigacloud got a good price, got the 22. So happy with that. I think I will put in a sale order at 26 here because there seems to be a lot of support or a lot of resistance around 27 level. Anyway, that's how we ended up today. We're now basically 49% up, which is crazy. I'm starting to question all I've ever been told about the market, about how hard it is to make money, but I know I'm just being an idiot and I'm going to get smacked down. I'm going to lose all my money, and I'm going to then have my aha moment and realize how difficult it is. That said, right now it's pretty freaking easy, and I'm loving it. All right, so I updated all my prices. Actually, let's talk really quickly about Catalyst. I don't know what I'm doing in this name anymore. If you look at Catalyst, I think I just misread it. I mean, it was at 17. They issued equity and it dropped to 15. And I was like, it's getting back to 17 for sure. But look, it's been at 15 for a long time. This was a pop. And I think, I don't know, it's just not, the spread isn't significant enough. I think I'm just going to take my minuscule profits and run on this thing. It just doesn't fit what I'm doing anyway. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't understand it. It's a good name. If we look at this growth rate. It's pretty fantastic. And it does make money. So it hits all of our marks. The only thing is it's not screaming cheap, but it's pretty dang cheap. So would I have been surprised if it could have gone to 30, if it could go to 30? No, see, even that's not crazy. So there's a lot of upside, but it's not moving. So I think I'm going to pitch it. All right, what else did I do? I did one other thing I wanted to share with you guys. I introduced a new metric. This is trailing 12-month earnings over enterprise value. If we sort this, small is bad, large is good. And not surprising, boom, look at the names that pop up. These are the three names I feel comfortable holding across earnings calls, over their earnings calls. In fact, this one I'm buying ahead of its earnings call, and I expect good things. I plan on holding it across the earnings call. Unless it really runs, if it runs aggressively, I'm gonna buy the rumor, sell the news. I'll sell before the earnings call. But this could easily go up. Gosh, I think 30 is not out of the question at all. Yeah, 30 is not out of the question at all. It would still have a pretty darn solid number here. This would be relatively in line with our cheaper names. So 30 is completely doable. So anyway, that's it. That's what we got going on. Yeah, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Oh, the other thing, actually, there's one other thing. Aether. Where is Aether? See if I can find it. Aether. It ran a little bit today. I'm going to put on another short tomorrow. If it gets to 1650, maybe even 1625, if it runs again tomorrow, I'm going to short it. Because it's shown me that the support I was worried it would have is, gosh, I just cannot hit the buttons today, is not nearly as strong as I thought it was. So let's go look at Aether. And if we do 5-day, yeah, we got all the way down here below 15. We're bouncing back up, but I definitely think we could find new lows here. Easy peasy. So it gets to 1650, I'm going to short it. Well, again, or 1625. I'll update you tomorrow. I'll see what it's doing then, how the market's looking. But that's all we have, and we're up. Shoot. What'd I say? 49%. I hope you guys have been following my trades and been doing similar stuff, because that's 50 grand in 8 weeks. Anyway, all right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.